Oh, well. This is not the news I expected to see today, but here we are. It has been officially announced that our favorite president and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, Mr. Jim Ryan, or as I call him, Jimmy Boy, is retiring from the company effective April 1st, 2024. This news was previously leaked by Bloomberg before it was officially announced by PlayStation about 10 minutes ago at the time that I'm recording this video. So y'all are getting a little extra video this week. And he has a notice of retirement on the official SIE blog. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it states his reasoning why he's retiring from the company. And it says, "As you will have seen today in the news, I have announced my retirement after nearly 30 years at Sony Interactive Entertainment. I did not take this decision lightly, and I absolutely love SIE and our community, but as of late, I've been finding it increasingly difficult to strike the right balance between having my home in the UK and my job in the United States. As mentioned in the press release, I will continue my role as president and CEO until March 2024. Effective April 1st, 2024, Hiroki Totoki will be appointed interim CEO of SIE while he continues his current role at Sony Group Corporation." So, the reasoning that he gave, I think, is pretty fair. I know some people are gonna, without reading this blog post, they're probably gonna look at it and go, "Oh my god, people aren't happy with Jim Ryan at Sony. Oh my god, he's leaving because of that. He failed." No. From a financial standpoint, Jim Ryan as a CEO was not a failure. And I'm not gonna take that away from him, despite my criticisms of the man. But I will say that I will not miss the guy. Because I think creatively for PlayStation, Jim Ryan has not been good. And I feel like his influence on PlayStation has led to a much more sterile and boring PlayStation. And I know this sounds mean, but I am not sad to see him go. And especially considering his reasoning for retirement, I think that's totally fair. Because I remember there was this interview that he did with GamesIndustry.biz. Ironically, it's the one time he didn't sound like an android, where he mentioned that it was really difficult for him to balance. It was pretty much the same thing that was said in this blog post that he wrote, where he found it difficult to, have meetings during the day while he was in the UK, and then have more meetings from where he could communicate in the United States, and then have more meetings throughout the day where he had to basically be on Japan time, but still being in either the United States or the UK. So I assume the man did not get a whole lot of sleep during his position as president and CEO of SIE. So now, here's the thing. I know there are going to be a lot of people in my circle of friends, people on the channel, that are going to be, they see this news and they are really happy and they're popping bottles already. And I don't blame them for that, honestly. But I urge maybe kind of tone it down until we know who the new CEO will be whenever they make that decision. I'll say this because I don't like to rain on people's parades, but it could always be worse. They really could find somebody in the company that does not that understands PlayStation even less than Jim Ryan does, and put him as the CEO. And just because Jim Ryan is leaving, that doesn't automatically prevent this live service future from happening. Because I assume the people at Sony, the higher ups, the people higher than Jim Ryan, are looking at this future and thinking, oh yeah, we want all in on this. So they're going to want somebody who's the CEO that is going to have that same vision. And that's the unfortunate part about this. Jim Ryan leaving doesn't, it's not like they go, oh my god, cancel Fair Games, cancel Concord, cancel all these live services we have in the pipeline. We're still going to see the fruits of the Jim Ryan era come, a few years down the road, or maybe even more than that, until hopefully they get somebody who is really good and has a really strong history with PlayStation, understands how games are made on a very personal level, actually plays video games, unlike Jim Ryan, because the only games Jim Ryan seemed to play were the ones that were literally just released by PlayStation. And the other thing I want to say too is that my hope, and I think it's a maybe huffing on some copium here, my hope is that they elect somebody as CEO who sees the value in smaller, more art style driven games, quirkier games, different genres, things that they want to take more risks in-house. But I don't really see that happening, unfortunately. I wish whoever comes in the best of luck, but I really doubt it's going to be somebody that I'm going to be happy with. As far as who I would be happy with, I'd be alright if somebody like Scott Rhodey became the new CEO and president of PlayStation. That would be a big deal in my book, because that guy has a history with PlayStation. That guy bleeds blue as far as PlayStation is concerned. Same with somebody like Connie Booth. I think she would make a really great president and CEO if she's interested. She's been with the company for many, many years. Or hell, even Herman Hulse. I think Herman Hulse sometimes sounds like an android himself, but at least he's been in video game development. He understands how to run a studio. So I think he would be a smarter choice to be the president than Jim Ryan at this point, or somebody who's more on the corporate side. I don't know. This is all just a very knee-jerk reaction, but that's, I felt compelled to make a video about this, obviously, because it is a big deal, and it literally just broke a few minutes ago. So, yeah, the Jim Ryan era has been, if nothing else, it's been interesting these last few years, and I am glad that it's finally ending. And I do genuinely wish Jim Ryan the very best in his retirement, especially if he's going to be spending it, getting some sleep and spending time with his family. But I will not miss the Jim Ryan era of PlayStation. But I urge everyone to not start celebrating, because things could always get worse. So, till then, bon voyage, Jimmy Boy Ryan. Good luck in your retirement, and I hope whoever Sony brings next as the CEO will bring PlayStation more aligned with a vision that I am much more interested in.